Over the past 4 years, we've managed over 2,000 Google ad campaigns for e-commerce brands in various industries. We're working with brands such as Ovi, Crafted, Wine by Lamborghini, and more recently, we've been mentoring 7 and 8 figure brands within Davey Fogarty's exclusive group, The Daily Mentor. And across the board, we've seen firsthand how the right ad copy can actually make or break a campaign success. I'm Jackson Blackledge, here with my business partner and head of Google Ads, Filippo Caroli. And today, we're going to show you the copywriting secrets that have helped our clients generate multiple millions in revenue from Google Ads alone in the last 30 days. Whether you're just starting out with Google Ads or looking to take your existing campaigns to that next level, these tips will help you craft ad copy that resonates with your audience, drives more clicks, and ultimately skyrockets your sales. Point number 1, the importance of relevance. Before we dive into the writing copy for each individual campaign, let's sort of break down the fundamentals first. And the first one is kind of the elephant in the room. Bad Google ad results often come from bad copy. Lazy ad copy leads to poor campaign performance and wasted ad spend. And no, even the most advanced AI, ChatGPT, won't even fix lazy ad copy. The one thing you have to realize is that in Google Ads, the number one differentiator is relevance. Your ad copy needs to be highly relevant to the keywords you're actually targeting and obviously the type of campaign you're running. The copywriting approach for Google Ads is completely different from what you would write for TikTok or Meta. And within that, each Google campaign has a different copywriting approach. YouTube ads, completely different from how you would optimize your shopping ad titles. And the way you write your shopping titles for your feed, completely different from the way you would write copy for search ads. And this goes even deeper. So your approach to ad copy for branded campaigns needs to be different from your prospecting campaign. You don't want to talk to customers that are already buying from your brand the same way you talk to people that don't even know your brand. Point number 2, don't let Google control your copy. Because here's the truth. Google is sort of pushing hard for automation with features like AI generated copy for dynamic search ads and AI generated images for shopping ads. But these automated solutions are far from perfect. Let's take responsive search ads. So when setting these up, Google will actually provide you with an ad strength score. And from our observations, it's all just gamification. You can very easily trick the system by giving it multiple headlines and descriptions with the keywords you're targeting. Google then takes these combinations you've given and mixes them to create different ad variations. What's the problem? Google's combinations, they don't always make sense or actually convey the right message. So for example, you'll have your offer as both the headlines, or both headlines in the ad will be loose variations of each other. These combinations don't really make sense and honestly won't help you boost sales. In fact, we could even say without the proper control measures in place, Google's AI at the end of the day will just let you overspend so that they as a company can make a bigger profit off of you. But before we get into the nitty gritty of writing for each ad type, there's one crucial step you can't skip, and that's assessing the actual landscape and finding your unique angle. Here's the thing, no matter how brilliant your ad copy is, it won't make a dent if it's not differentiated from the noise. You're not just competing for clicks, you're competing for attention, for interest, for that spot on your target customer's consideration set. So how do you break through? How do you make your message stand out? It all starts with understanding your battlefield, understanding your customer. Who are your competitors in this space? What are they saying? How are they positioning themselves? This isn't about copying their tactics. This is about finding opportunities to zig when they zag, to find the gaps in their messaging, fill them with your unique value proposition. Let's say you're a new direct-to-consumer skincare brand trying to break into the market. Your first step should be to search for the keywords you want to target and see who's currently showing up. A client of ours was selling sofa covers. When they came to us, all they were doing was targeting the keyword sofa covers. But when we dug deep, we found other pain points from the target audience: pet fur, protection, and these gave them a bigger market to capture. It sort of gave them a point of differentiation for their product.
First thing when you approach a certain niche would be to come here in the keyword planner in Google Ads. For example, if we're targeting sofa covers, let's say our main keywords here, but if we scroll and we dig deeper a little bit in this results page, then we find dogs, we find sectional, find slip cover or waterproof. So all different angles that would help us to tailor our ads for. So we can create some ad groups based on these keyword themes and then tailor ads based on those keywords. So then, for example, here in a search that you see, sofa covers for pets, if we just focus on the search ads, we have Amazon, for example, here with a very relevant headline, just mentioning for pets, exactly mirroring in this case the search term itself.
But now we got to actually discuss how to write copy for several of Google's different campaign types. Search ads is what we'll cover first, and that's point number 4. Let's start with the bread and butter of Google Ads, search campaigns. We'll cover 2 types. We have responsive search, which is Google's default since 2022, and we'll also cover dynamic search ads. With search, your primary focus should be on relevance. You want to make sure the search term you're targeting actually matches the advertising you put out. So Google measures this relevance through quality score, and it looks at 3 factors: the landing page experience, ad relevance, and expected click-through rate. The latter two are heavily influenced by your ad copy. When it comes to search ads, it's all about meeting the user's needs in the moment. They're actively searching for something specific, and your job is to show them that you have the answer. So how do you do that? First, put yourself in their shoes. What exactly are they looking for? What problem are they trying to solve? Your headline should directly reflect the intent. So if you're searching for, let's say, men's best running shoes for flat feet, your headline should be something like best running shoes for flat feet, comfort and support in every step. This obviously tells them right away that you understand their needs and you have a solution tailored to them. But what if you're, let's say, targeting a more general keyword like just running shoes? Then in that case, with these 2 words, running shoes, you want to focus on what sets you apart. What's your unique selling proposition? Maybe you offer free shipping or a 30-day return policy. Maybe you have a wide selection of top brands, or whatever it is, make that the focus of your headline. Let's talk about the description. The description is where you can get into more details about your offer and really drive home the benefits. Your description could be something like, shop our selection of running shoes designed specifically for flat feet, featuring arch support, cushioned insoles, and stability features for comfortable miles. Find your perfect fit today. See how that sort of expands on the headline and paints this picture of how the product will improve their runs? And that there is key. Don't just list the features. Instead, you want to translate them into real world benefits. The reason we wanted to cover these 2 points first in this section is because most brands tackle this part wrong, all because of keywords. They'll do some research, find some that they want to target, then screw it up by stuffing their keywords into the ad copy. Don't get me wrong, you definitely want to include your main keyword in both the headline and description. This helps Google understand the relevance of your ad to the search query, but don't overdo it. Aim to include the keywords naturally, and always include a clear call to action. Shop now, learn more, get your coupon, make it specific and actionable. Now let's get into the specifics, starting with responsive search ads. Earlier, we obviously mentioned that in order to get these set up, you need to give Google some headlines and descriptions to combine into ads. But how do you write good ad copy when Google mixes and matches your assets? The key here is just to give a variety of options that will all work together. Each of your headlines should be able to pair with each of your descriptions to create a coherent message. But you also want to make sure your most important points are getting through no matter what. And that's where pinning comes in. By pinning your top performing headlines to position 1 and copy mentioning your main call to action or USP to position 2, you ensure they'll always show up in order. The caveat is that Google might give you a poorer ad strength, but remember, this is just gamification from Google. Our ads always perform better when we followed best practices and ignored the strength score. Let's dive into an example.
So here we are inside one account, search prospecting campaign, so absolutely non-branded. We have a 15% almost CTR the last 30 days, so very good results for a prospecting campaign. First of all, how to do the pinning. When you look at this ad strength, many times Google is threatening you with this ad strength, like, hey, your ad strength is average, you should improve it, but you shouldn't really take care of that too much, because what impacts that a lot is pinning, which is actually a pretty good thing for your campaign. So as you can see, we have a few headlines here that are pinned in position 1. And how does it work? We just want the relevant headlines that are talking about specific keywords that we're targeting to be in position 1. Then if Google has space for position 2, even for position 3, we can then focus on benefits or CTAs, offers, stuff like that. In the end of the day, as you can see, still we have a lot of headlines. It's really important to always double check the actual combinations. You might have a lot of headlines, but if you go and check your actual combinations, Google might show almost always maybe the same set of combinations or even the same headline. Despite you having 15 headlines and Google potentially showing 3 of them at the same time, Google noticed that users tend to have a higher CTR sometimes when just showing one headline. So if we click on view asset details here, we are able to look at the combinations, and you will see, let's pick for example July 2024. You can see the headlines, the description, and even other extensions. So of course a reminder of how extensions are important in the whole package that is showing on Google search. So you see the headline. In this case, Google is really going hard into this one headline concept, and you will see the ones that are shown most often, and of course instead then the descriptions or combination of descriptions that are then digging deeper into benefits, offers, etc. So it's really important to pack your description with those information.
Now the next search ad type is called dynamic search ads. But the main thing you want to pay attention to is, unlike what most Google ad gurus and media buyers will tell you, the DSAs aren't completely automated. The headlines, they're drawn from the meta titles on your website. The descriptions are completely written by you, and you can actually blacklist certain pages on your website from being turned into ads. Think about your page, contact page. But in order to actually get the best performance performance out of the DSAs, follow best practices for SEO, and headline writing with your website meta titles. And what you want to do is follow the exact same approach to your descriptions that we just outlined for RSAs. If you want to dive deeper into DSAs, watch our video on it. Moving on from that topic, now let's dive into shopping ads. When it comes to shopping ads, your product feed is the foundation of your success. Unlike search, your ads aren't generated from your keyword targets, but they're actually pulled directly from your product feed attributes. So how do you show up for the right searches and with the right message all the time? It all starts with your product titles. This is prime real estate, and it's one of the things users will see first and what Google will actually primarily use to determine the relevance of your ad. Your goal is to both be descriptive and concise. You want to pack in as much key information as possible without going into keyword stuffing territory. Here's a simple formula. You want to start with your main keyword, then add in essential details like brand, color, size, material. So, for example, let's say you're selling a pair of women's running shoes. Your title could be something like this: Nike Women's Air Zoom Pegasus 38 running shoes. Black, white, size 8. This tells both Google and the user exactly what you're offering in a clear and sort of scannable format. But what if you have a longer product name or multiple key features you want to highlight? That's where the 150 character limit comes in handy. Use that space strategically to include the most important information. Could be something like Samsung S21 5G 128GB Phantom Grey dash unlocked, dual SIM, 6.2 inch display, triple camera, long lasting battery. It's obviously longer, but it's packed with key details that a potential buyer would want to know. The key is prioritize. What are the make or break specs of your product? What sets it apart from competitors? Lead with that in the first sort of 60 to 80 characters, and the main reason for this is truncation. Google may cut off your title after 30 characters, especially on mobile devices, but you still want to use the 150 character limit to just help rank for those searches. Now let's talk about descriptions. So Google shopping ad descriptions have a generous 5,000 character limit. These mainly play a role for organic listings when people click into the shopping tab. Only 145 to 180 characters will actually be visible in the initial preview, and that means you need to strategically front load your most important information. So what should you prioritize in these crucial first characters? Start with the essentials: brand, product type, size, color, and any features that set your product apart from the rest. This is also a prime spot to just naturally incorporate relevant keyword users might actually search for to help your ads rank better. But when writing this out, you should be thinking to yourself, how does each feature make the product more desirable or solve a customer's problem? Let's give an example. Experience the perfect blend of comfort and performance with the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus 38. The responsive React foam cushioning provides a smooth, springy ride with a breathable mesh upper that keeps your feet cool and dry even on long runs. Durable traction grips the road, trail, or treadmill, so you can train with confidence on any surface. Whether you're a casual jogger or a marathon veteran, these versatile shoes will help you go the distance. This dives deeper into how the key features: responsive cushioning, breathable upper, durable traction, and then it also translates into real benefits for the runner. Comfort, coolness, versatility, confidence. A few additional tips as you're crafting your descriptions: avoid promotional language. Phrases like lowest price or limited time offer. Avoid them because they're actually against Google's policy and they could actually get your ad disapproved. Keep the focus on the product itself. Your description should purely be about the item you're selling, not the store policies, shipping info, or other products. Always clear, concise, and professional language. Avoid jargon or slang that could confuse or alienate potential customers. And just remember that your description is an extension of the title. It should build on those initial keywords and key selling points, not introduce completely new information. Of course, let's not forget the visuals. Shopping ads are inherently visual. The image is often what catches the user's eye first, so your product photos need to be quality. For something like shoes, you'd want multiple angles: side, top, bottom. Show off that tread pattern, the style of the shoe. Quality images not only grab attention, they also build trust. They show that you're a professional and reputable seller.
So when it comes to copywriting for your shopping ads, there are a couple of different things to look at for sure. And we can start with competitor research, obviously. The first thing is to check on the page, so check for your main keywords you're targeting. Go and check what advertisers are doing in your niche. Look at the titles, as you can see, heavily cut. So really important what you put at the beginning. Can expand on desktop, difficult on mobile. Then you can use also a very handy tool, which is the ad transparency at google.com, in which you can check ads for specific advertisers. So if you know, or if you notice anyone here is like, oh, these guys, they seem to be like kind of the best on this type of keywords, they rank a lot, you can do a research, or in this case, I just picked a random advertiser and I can see a few shopping ads that they're doing. So we can check their style, we can check which information they're putting first. Once you check all of that and you made a great keyword research, so again, you know what people are looking at. So the different type of keywords, search volume, so you know what's more important than others. So you know which parameters, which attributes are maybe more interesting to your audience versus others. You can go and deep dive into your title optimization. Important thing to keep in mind is that the titles that you're using on Google Shopping do not have to be the same titles you have on the website. Most likely they have to be different. So on the website, they can be short, they can be an introduction, then you have all the product page. On Google Shopping, you really have to focus on bringing all those attributes in the right order for your products to be matched with the right audience. There are many ways of optimizing your titles. You can do it in Merchant Center, you can do it in a product feed optimization tool, but here I just show you a quick example. Here we see we are within the limit. So while we are working on that, we use this function to show the characters limitation there. So we are within the 150 characters, and then we just adapt every single product. We try to give a different angle. So here we have different variants, and the main product, let's say, is nappy backpack for this specific client. But we give different attributes for different variants. So for some variants, we can call it baby bag, another time nappy backpack. And then we can give the color at first, or we can give the material, for example, vegan leather. Or we can focus on the fact that this is a multitasker, a nappy backpack, a baby bag for 2 kids. We basically use different keywords, especially at the beginning, and then we follow up with attributes and secondary keywords later on. Sneaky tactic is as well to bury after the 70th character a little bit of competitors' keywords as well, because to be honest, after 70, 80 characters, there's no chance that those words are going to appear in the title, not even expanded.
Now let's cover the next ad types: demand generation and YouTube ads. So when it comes to these, while shopping and search ads are all about relevance and meeting immediate user intent, demand gen and YouTube are about grabbing attention, building hype, and creating demand where it may not have existed before. Very similar to how you would write ad copy for social media. With shopping and search ads, you're often targeting users who are actively searching for products like yours. They're in a transactional mindset, they're ready to buy. So your copy needs to be direct, relevant, and focus on the specifics of your product. But with demand gen and YouTube ads, you're often reaching users who may not even know they need your product. They may just be casually browsing on Google's apps like demand gen, or scrolling the timeline on YouTube, getting entertained. So your copy needs to be sort of attention grabbing, emotionally resonant, and sort of focused on the broader benefits and lifestyle your product enables. Let's look at an example. Say you're selling a new type of wireless earbud. For a shopping ad, your title might be something straightforward like brand name, wireless earbuds, Bluetooth 5.0, noise cancelling, 24-hour battery life. It's all about the specifics, the features that someone actively is searching for when searching for wireless earbuds. But for a YouTube ad, you might take a different approach. Headline: escape the noise, dive into your music. See the difference? The YouTube ad copy is sort of more about the feeling, the experience, the lifestyle. It's about creating an emotional connection to quickly hijack that attention. This approach extends to your visuals as well. So for demand gen and YouTube ads, your images and videos should be eye-catching. But going back to the copy aspect, of course, this doesn't mean you completely ignore the specifics of your product. You still want to highlight key features and benefits, but you do so in a way that it ties back to the broader narrative and emotionally appeals to customers. Some key things to keep in mind as you craft your demand gen and YouTube ad copy is lead with the benefit. What will your product help the user achieve, feel, or become? You also want to create that FOMO, highlight what the user stands to miss out on if they don't engage or buy your product.
Here we are within demand generation campaign that in the last 30 days gained 4 ROAS, so really good for a top of funnel campaign. Let's go and check a little bit the top ad in the campaign. The headline, it's 40 characters, so really important to keep in mind that you have that 10 extra characters versus a normal search ad, for example, or even a YouTube headline. 10 characters can really make a difference there. You can be including more stuff, more information. Also, you need to be straight to the point because obviously they're top of funnel ads. You don't want to introduce too many concepts. And then in the description, we play with those emotions, as we were saying, from radiant skin to healthier nails, unveil a new you, really about the benefits, vision of yourself in the future. So that's a quick example on a demand generation ad where obviously the visuals are playing a very important role. And instead, if we move to a YouTube campaign, for example, obviously here the video is the main character, but let's see what we can do with the copy as well. We're looking at a campaign with 3 ROAS in the last 30 days, completely top of funnel. So let's see a little bit what we have in the copy. So for example, you can see already healthy can be delicious. Very nice claim, very short and to the point. So obviously we are trying to hook people that are doing other things on YouTube or scrolling their feed on the Google mobile app. So we want to be straight to the point and give specific inputs for the user to just stop and consider our ad.
Remember, with demand gen and YouTube ads, you're not just selling the product, you're selling a feeling or an idea. Now that we've obviously explored the nuances of crafting compelling copy for search, shopping, demand gen, and YouTube ads, we'll dive into our last platform, Performance Max. Performance Max campaign campaigns are like the Swiss Army knife of Google Ads. They combine the best elements of all the other ad types we've covered, allowing you to reach users across Google's entire ecosystem with a single unified campaign. How do you apply the lessons we've learned from search, demand gen, and YouTube ads to create compelling Performance Max campaigns? It's all about understanding the unique strengths and strategies of each campaign type and just leveraging them into Performance Max copy and asset. The key to successful Performance Max campaigns is the same as it was for any other ad type: understanding your audience. All the copywriting strategies in the world won't help if you're not speaking directly to your target users' needs, desires, and pain points. And there's a lot of nuance to Performance Max setup, from asset creation, target audience, and obviously bidding strategies. And that's why we've created a separate video dedicated entirely to the ins and outs of Performance Max setup, which you can see on our channel. If you want even more of an inside tip on scaling your e-commerce brand with Google and YouTube ads, head over to our newsletter. Every month we release multiple new tools, resources, and information for e-commerce brands to level up their Google Ads marketing from our team within Echelon, ex-Google and ex-Data FeedWatch specialists. Click the link in the description to learn more. So myself and Filippo, we'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.